could you break it down like you would for a very trusted and very loyal Labrador, somebody who doesn't know the military code, probably frontwards and backwards like you?
Right.
What military code laws were broken? What would charges look like against Mark Kelly, for instance, senator from Arizona, in this case? Like, how would you prosecute this case?
Okay, first off, because Mark Kelly is a retiree and as a Navy captain and is entitled to pay, not every veteran can be called back for prosecution, but retirees can. So Article 2 of the UCMJ allows us to call them back to investigate them for violating the UCMJ. There are about 6 different articles. The one that comes to mind first is Article 94, which prevents mutiny and sedition. Sedition basically is when a member of the armed forces or a retiree encourages the disobedience of civilian authority. And of course, Article 2 of our Constitution makes the president the commander in chief. You can't do that. It's just not just Article 94, but Article 88 prevents what we call disrespect or contempt against the commander in chief. So, as a member of the public, you can say whatever you want to say, but within the context of the military, you can't speak disrespectfully against any commander in chief. So he's looking at Article 88, Article 94. There's the general Article 134. He's undermining good order and discipline. I don't want to go too deep into the weeds, but those 3 in and of themselves are grounds for investigation, in my judgment, calling him back and subjecting him to what we call a general court-martial.
So then what would happen in the court-martial? This is fascinating, by the way. I'm very interested in this. Could you explain what Mark Kelly would be facing? Like, let's say that you were defending him and he was sitting in a room with you. You just explained 3 or 4 different rules in the UCMJ that he broke. What penalties could he be facing?
Well, the president has said, theoretically, for sedition, you could go all the way to the death penalty. That wouldn't happen here, but it is possible. He could also be prosecuted for treason. I didn't even go there. That is giving aid and comfort to an enemy of the United States, and these drug cartels are that. But he's going to try to raise First Amendment types of defenses. But the UCMJ was passed by Congress, and a number of these articles have been held to survive from constitutional standpoints. What will happen is, if in fact he is recalled, there will be an investigation, what we call an Article 32 investigation in the military. That's kind of like a probable cause investigation where a commander will appoint an investigating officer to look at what he said and what the others have said and determine whether or not there's probable cause that he has violated one of the articles. And I think that's a pretty easy go. And then if the decision is made to prosecute him, there will be a general court-martial convening authority. It could be the president, or it could be, a regional commander such as CENTCOM, and a number of them that could convene the court. And then a jury would be selected and a trial would take place to determine whether or not there's been a violation. But he could be called back up, forced back into uniform, and face charges on this. And I think, we need to at least get this process into motion. You just can't have members of the Congress trying to undermine a valid, order from the president. Listen, the whole idea of unlawful orders. Look, Obama, for example, used drones to kill American citizens in the Middle East. Now, some of those American citizens might be shady, but they have constitutional rights. Out on the high seas, these terrorists who are bringing fentanyl, which is a weapon of mass destruction, into the nation, have 0 constitutional rights. And it isn't like the president's ordered some action against American citizens like Obama did when the Democrats sat back and said nothing. So the whole notion that there's been something illegally ordered is ridiculous. And when you press these Democrats, they can't even point to anything.